Good morning, Bryn Athyn Church School. This is Mr. Keel, and this is our second video chapel. This is the chapel for Wednesday morning this week. And we are maybe going to try to add music, singing hymns at some point to these videos, but for now we're just going to keep doing it like this. So let's get started. I'm going to light the candles now. Please rise for the opening of the word. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. I will lift up my eyes to the mountains. From whence comes my help? My help is from the Lord, who made the heavens and the earth. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. O Lord, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Amen. And now we're going to say together our Easter recitation. Since it's Palm Sunday this coming Sunday, we're going to be getting ready for the Easter season. So this is recitation number 588 if you happen to have a blue liturgy at home. And if you don't, that's fine. I'm going to put the recitation up on the screen. This is from Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. You may be seated. So, today we are continuing with our story of the Exodus journey, and I wanted to show you a map of that journey. So this is a map of the whole Exodus story. We started at the beginning of the year with the children of Israel leaving Egypt over here, and they crossed the Red Sea right about there, and they went all the way down to Mount Sinai down here, and then they've been working their way up. And recently we've heard about the story in Numbers chapter 13 of the spies going into the land. They spied out the land of Canaan, but there were giants in the land, and so they were afraid, and they weren't trusting that the Lord would keep them safe. And so they had to wander in the wilderness. That's what that circle is there, wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And then we heard the story in Numbers chapter 20 of them needing water, and the Lord told Moses to speak to the rock that was right here at Kadesh, but instead Moses struck the rock with his staff because he thought he had the power. And so then the next part of that chapter, Numbers chapter 20, is that they're going to try to find a different way into the land of Canaan. They're going to see if they can go through this area. This is the kingdom of Edom, and they're going to see if they can come through that way so they don't have to go in by the giants. And that's the story that we're going to hear about today. Now Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom. Thus says your brother Israel, you know all the hardship that has befallen us, how our fathers went down to Egypt, and we dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians afflicted us and our fathers. When we cried out to the Lord, he heard our voice and sent the angel and brought us up out of Egypt. Now here we are in Kadesh, a city on the edge of your border. Please let us pass through your country. We will not pass through fields or vineyards, nor will we drink water from wells. We will go along the king's highway. We will not turn aside to the right hand or to the left until we have passed through your territory. Then the king of Edom said to him, you shall not pass through my land, lest I come out against you with the sword. So the children of Israel said to him, we will go by the highway, and if I or my livestock drink any of your water, then I will pay for it. Let me only pass through on foot, nothing more. Then the king said, you shall not pass through. So Edom came out against them with many men and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his territory. So Israel turned away. Amen. So in this story, they asked if they could go through this part of the land, the kingdom of Edom, but the king said, no, you may not come through. And so the children of Israel had to take a detour. They had to then go all the way around here to try to get through the land, into the land of Canaan from the side. So that was a big detour. A detour is where you're trying to go one way, but that way is blocked and you have to go a different way. So they had to go the long way around to try to get into the land of Canaan. And that's kind of like what we're experiencing right now with school. We thought that doing school would be one way, getting through school would be a certain way, but now we are kind of on a detour. We're having to do school in a very different way, and it might even feel like taking the long way around to try to get through all of our schoolwork. But that's a part of a lot of journeys that we go through in life, is that there are sometimes detours that come up and we have to go a different way than we expected. Now, this story is also talking about us trying to become better people, trying to get to heaven, to become angels. The land of Canaan, the promised land, is a symbol for heaven. It's a symbol for when we are trying to be good, kind, loving people. But sometimes there are things that get in the way of us trying to be kind and loving people. The kingdom of Edom is a symbol for selfishness. And sometimes the selfishness that can be in our hearts can block us from getting into a place where we're being kind and loving. And so part of our journey is to learn how to try to get around selfishness so that we can eventually get into a place where we're being kind and loving towards other people. So that's that part of the story, and we're going to hear about what happens next in tomorrow's chapel. Amen. Please rise for the closing of the word. May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ be with us all. Amen. I hope you have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.